baby boy has died at the St Gregory Hospital at Kasoa because his parents could not afford the cost of aiding his birth with an oxygen machine. The since being calls for the arrest of the doctor as the Ghana Health Service dispatched a team to the hospital to investigate the incident. What do you make of the situation?
I feel that it will be so inhumane of the doctors to, take such a life support from a baby. And as a country, I believe if our policies and structures are working together with our government being able to put in place certain measures for some amount of money to pass through channels for emergency cases, it would help. But nevertheless, I think as humans, we need to be very good with ourselves. That if I find myself as a medical doctor, we should be able to have ways to solicit funds at a very quick rate to be able to assist kids that are innocent of this, because I don't think it's the wish of the parents or the baby that such an occurrence should happen on them.
Seriously, that's bad, if you ask me. I don't know what can be done to save this kind of situation, but maybe we could do something for special children like that, people with special needs like that.
Talk about the basic necessities of life. In fact, life is something basic that as a nation we shouldn't deny anybody of life. So are we saying the nation or even the hospital does not have any source of funding that could support such a child? And to the extent that we take away the life support, that is a very bad situation.
I think that we shouldn't be too judgmental, because you see everybody and their profession and the heat that comes along with it. The doctor was wrong, yes, but then you see within that time that he had to take off the oxygen, maybe there was so much pressure on him, maybe others were paying to get the same services. Okay, so we shouldn't judge the doctor. So I think we should go back to the root cause of the whole issue and not just vent all our frustrations on the doctor, or just investigate more into the issue, because I think there's more to it than just the doctor taking the oxygen from the baby.
Well, a lot more of your comments are on Facebook. Let's check what you've been saying.
Amanya Emmanuel writes, the doctor needs to be in jail for 25 years. I'm talking with my real eyes. You talk with eyes? Okay. All right. Balanyo Akwetia says, some of the health workers are inhumane. How using then we have a serious problem in this country. It's unethical and unprofessional that one who is supposed to save lives is facilitating the process of taking life. I was shocked when I heard the news. People just need to have a human face when it comes to the issue, when it comes to issues of life and death.
And interesting comments there. Amenya Emmanuel says, in addition to that, the doctor, oh, come on. Amabuachi.
He says multimedia for contribute to help the people of Ghana. Why? Like the way Kwame Safa is doing, helping pregnant women with incubators.
Excuse me, we've done a lot.
Try and be decorous in your comments.
Also, I think the person should be following.
Exactly,
we've done so much.
Yes,
and even if it comes to the health sector and children, we've done so much. So please be following.
Let me just specify that we helped through the Rebecca Foundation to help build a new center for
maternity block for the Confanochi Teaching Hospital, and we're planning to do same in other hospitals. Of course, we don't deserve this from you. Adams Hamid comes to say, okay, Efo Kojolexa says most people don't work with passion. It's all about the money. Everyone wants to read medical science. The results now, if this news is true, then he must be arrested. James Abusanga writes, I think the doctor has regretted for not taking the appropriate action, though it is a terrible mistake, but let's see it as a mistake in which anybody can make.
No, I just totally disagree.
Loss of life,
people must be held accountable
as a mistake. Jenny Paula Hemit says, I'm sure this doctor is a wizard and has been assigned from the spiritual to kill. Just can't comprehend. I mean, how? And Abdul Latif Al Hassan says, he says it is harsh and ungodly. It should not be allowed. And Kobe J says, that's too bad. This cannot happen even in a war-torn country, but it has happened in a war-free country. Too bad. Those are some comments. And also, Muslim leaders in the country are being urged to consider using text messages to call their members to worship instead of the usual megaphones. That's according to the Environment, Science, Technology and Innovations Minister, Professor Kwabena Frimpong-Boateng, will help reduce noise pollution in the country. Well, his suggestions has generated mixed reactions. First, let's see how some Muslims reacted.
We have mosques all over, and mostly people don't have like an attachment with one particular mosque. So if you are saying the imam should contact them through WhatsApp, one, they are not regular attendants of that particular church. How can the imam get their contacts and call and WhatsApp them? One, they do it for free, so it's like a part-time job. So how are you going to finance such a thing?
We the Muslim side, it's not all of us that are rich. Now, so we have poor people. The phones that they are talking about that we should be WhatsApping and all those things, some of them are not using phones. Some of them they can even be having the phones, but they don't know the use. So as for them stopping us from calling azan on all those things, it cannot. I don't think it can work. You see,
that one, yeah, I don't think they should talk something like that, because we call something tradition, and everybody has his culture and the way he have to go about doing his own things. You understand me? So at least for Ghana, yeah, it's all about noise everywhere. Everybody they disturb. The church they disturb. You understand me? It can never work. I'm telling you, it will never work. That one there is something that is going to be like that. It can never work. Nobody can stop calling of prayers because it's just short minutes. After that, it just takes some short time. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. It doesn't chop any time.
Like and this sounds like nobody can stop praying.
Okay.
Okay, so let's also see what Christians think about this. Let's hear them.
How many of them know how to use this technology? The old women and the old men at home and all that. How many of them can communicate through WhatsApp messages? So I think the best thing to do is to be able to know how to minimize the noise, if through using soundproof at their mosques and all that to communicate.
For instance, when someone is sick and they are shouting, the person can wake up and he cannot sleep anymore. So it's a disturbance to the public, to the environment. So me about with the WhatsApp message.
You want them to use WhatsApp?
Yes, to WhatsApp each other. It is time, and mostly they know the time already. That when it is 4 to 5, at least they have to wake up and go and sleep. See it? So yeah, I like that.
That's been handed over from generation to generation, and it is a style by which we communicate to our people, let them be aware. But it's twofold. Even as we are reaching out, I'm referring to the Muslims and the Christians as well, even as they are reaching out to their own to come and worship, it's also an invitation to those who are not Muslims or Christians, such that. So I would say it's a kind of strategy for witnessing.
Are changing. As a nation, we are developing. Things that we used to do previously, definitely things are changing. And as a matter of fact, we should try to modify the way we do things. So I support the call for using other means other than the shouting.
Very interesting comments there. Let's check out what you've been putting on Facebook.
And Abdul Hafiz Mohammed says he's not a professor, he bears the title, he should start at his doorstep before telling us these absurdities. James Abu Sangla says that's a good idea considering the technological advances of our time. Why cause unnecessary noise when we can do it easier and safer? Well, Munkaila Umaru says what the minister refuses to understand is that we are Muslim and not like you, a Christian, who have members wherever a Muslim reaches, and it's wherever a Muslim reaches, and it's time for prayers and azan. An azan is called. We enter the mosque and pray. How many minutes do we spend The highest is 5 minutes. Okay. And
Zakaria kind of.
Okay, let's move on to the next day. Katayenge Sama says he could have said reducing the voices used when calling people for prayers, and this includes all other religions, born agains in particular. Ajay Kodie, says, why is the world unfair like that? You politicians make the most noise in this country when campaigning. Why don't you people use WhatsApp for campaign during election periods? Okay.
And your boss Solomon says, why only Muslims? What about churches, drinking spots, people selling in vans with mounted horns and so on? Well, the minister didn't only talk about Muslims. He talked about all other people, including churches. And in fact, he said churches are the worst culprit. And I agree with him. By Jeremiah says, the call is laudable, but the alternative suggestion is not the best and will not work. Reducing volume of speakers will have been appropriate. And in Chroma, Emmanuel says, I think they should get an app that all Muslims should sign on to. Like, seriously, your grandmother will come and sign on to it. So it will alert users of it. The app will consider users' local time. Of course, Araba, I don't think such an app will work because, like one of the speakers said, our grandparents, our great-great-grandmothers, they are not technological. And how do you expect them to log on to that app and all of that? Let's check out our picture of the day. Full scale is wanted.
Develop DAO children. Call Ibora on. We develop DAO children. Call Ibora.
What's the meaning of
the English language is very tricky for a lot of people. Exactly.
That's how we end the interactive segment. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Have a great one.